shed out in the middle of my property, and I want to get rid of it and instead build a large wooden kind of shelter, but not exactly, more like a open pergola. Not quite sure what the term is. But yeah, so I'm gonna draw first a sketch of the shed, then a quick sketch of what I want to draw, and then a proper drawing. So I'll just get this set up above now. Alright, so here we have a book. I've done a couple of sketches of this recently. Now, a lot of the lead pencil stuff with small detail will be hard to see. So, for this one I have my ink pen, my favourite black ink pen. So, fresh page. Okay. Now I'm going to do the first drawings up here, and here, and the actual sketch, or the actual drawing just here. Okay, so this first sketch, just bring it over slightly this way. I'm just going to do this quite extremely rough, and like I said, it may be a little bit tricky to see, but hopefully if I do enough marks, it can make it easier. When I was just slightly lower the brightness there, just to make it a bit easier. As well as bring some more light in. Okay. So we have the face of the shed. This is a corrugated iron shed. It has a door there. An old-fashioned glass window there. Just give it some lines for the corrugated iron. Now, before I start the rest of the actual drawing itself, I just want to, well, the actual shed itself, I should say. Just want to map out the other parts of the garden here. So we have a little bench just here, next to the cactus, which is next to the garden patch. Just wanted to include that in here so I can add some So we have a couple of big branches from the gum tree behind there. With that one there too. Around here. Just draw some backing bushes. So it is a little bit difficult to see. Zoom in a little bit more. Hopefully that's a bit easier. So we have the shed just here. This is all grass through all of this. And then we have the hedge that I put in recently. Camellias, the little seed, the cactus, etc. Now, what we want to have here, I hope that this is focused enough. So what we want to have here again, very rough. I'll just start with this one. Side point here. And we're going to keep the same size base, because this will be the concrete floor of what was the shed and will now be the seated area. So just Fun fact, when I moved in, the house had no grass anyway, a tiny bit around the side to the back. There was a large shed door that was left open for a very long time. 2 large shed doors, in fact. And in between was carpet and gravel. So all of this was just quite a mess. I went straight from that to dead soil, all through here. So it's gone from that to, sorry I bumped the microphone. It's gone from that to full grass, and eventually we wanted to be a open living area. Now I'll just quickly include these trees so I don't forget in the final. And there's a tree that lives here which will be gone, but there is a couple of other little bushes. And then all over this wall here is lots of native plants and stuff, so we probably won't worry about those for the actual drawing either, and I think we'll just focus on the main frame and the basic landmarks surrounding. Okay. Let's zoom out a tiny bit. We'll get ready for this drawing. Alright, now I'm not going to worry about the frame on the outside. I just want to worry about the actual drawing itself. putting the final one. I don't think that will be perfect either. That's alright. So now I'm just gonna come through and give it a little bit of okay, so this is where we need to put that line there. again, just a little detail behind and in front. A bit of detail too behind. Okay. Now that we have that, I'm going to do some crazy stuff. Just trying to do a little bit of this drawing here. Give it a bit of texture and depth. So I'm just doing some dark lines and then some slightly lighter ones going back to dark. See if I can bring a bit more of a natural wooden look. It's a bit hard with the corners like that, but that's okay. That one's a little bit better. See how I go with this one at the front here. Interesting. It's not the most effective look, but that's okay. Just a fun experiment. Just trying to tilt the pen to get less of a harsh angle, or less of a direct angle, more of a angled angle, more of a side angle for the light sections. That one's a bit better, I think. See how we go with this back one here. This one I seem to be able to see a lot more clearly. Interesting. Right, just adding a bit more shadow at the top of those ones. side wall that runs out of the back. Also has a base, of course. Then we have this concrete path that runs around to the back and leaps around the back. So we'll just lightly put that in, it's not a major detail. But I do want to put in the detail of the rest of the property back there. Although it might be a little bit too high like that. I think that might be a bit more sensible. Now we have these wooden beams. They run across. So just lightly put them in. And that wraps around. Now I've got the section of plants back here. Right now it's quite bare. One's either bare or it'll be full of weeds, but eventually we'll want these large big lilies and cannas and all sorts of stuff. So put some of them in there. Around the back we have large banana palms. It'll be a fair few years until everything's this size, but I just wanted to put it in to make myself happy. To have something to look forward to. Okay. So we have the slightly tropical backyard there. And of course, through here would be all sorts of different things. I'm not quite sure how to do lots of detail and little drawings. I'm just kind of do a bunch of little things. Not gonna worry about that part. But over here we have our seat. And this is on two wooden logs. Just putting some detail of the shadow behind. So we have the log, we have the cactus That's okay. Okay, to somewhat push things. And then the rest of the property, which has a very skinny gum tree. Just like that. Just do the general shape. Just a little bit like that. And then of course, almost forgot about these, which I deliberately did not want to forget about. They're quite tall. I can have one break off. Or two. Or maybe even three. Can't remember how the tree is. It'd be essentially like that. I could do a lot more detail, but I don't really super want to be bothered. I'm not super bothered. These are stringy barks, so it does make sense to draw them lightly. I mean, draw them dark. Lots of depth. Alrighty, once I've done this tree, I reckon that'll be good. I think the camera's just about to die, so if I don't finish this, I hope that you were able to relax to this. And I think that will do it for the sketch for today. I hope this has been